In today's episode of What's Wrong with Men, let's talk about how to fix an incel from Eamon Whalen in Bunny magazine. No, that is not its real name. Whalen looks at the work being done by William Costello out of UT Austin, who just completed the world's largest ever study on incels and incel culture. Now, the study confirmed a lot of the things many of us already expect about incels. They tend to be single, childless men in their 20s, half of whom still live at home with their parents, half of whom don't have a full-time job. You know, the kind of standard basement dweller stereotype. But Costello did unearth some interesting tidbits about study participants, including that some 30% fit the criteria for autism screening, and nearly 1 in 5 experience daily thoughts of self-harm, which is a wild statistic. He also divided incels into 2 groups, and this was new to me and the part I want to flag. The first group was described as being on the psychosocial vulnerability trajectory. These are men with a higher incidence of neurodivergent traits, many of whom have extensive histories of receiving bullying, and who generally lead the sort of miserable existence that might cause an individual interacting with them to say, wow, that's a very lost person in need of help. The second group is described as participating in dispositional extremism, and this is the classic angry incel looking to inflict his hatred on the world in the form of terrorizing and victimizing others, especially women. Costello sees overlap between these 2 groups, but understanding the distinction between them also helps explain how different people can have different interactions with different members of the incel community and come away with wildly different perspectives on what we need to do to address the problem. Incel discourse is tough, right? Because you don't want to excuse any of the horrible behavior, sometimes crimes, that incels contribute to, or play into a fundamentally broken worldview of theirs. So you're stuck trying to figure out ways to offer help, ways to pull people out of the darkness, without playing into twisted logic or sympathizing with the wrong aspects of their misery. I'll say the piece, regardless of title, is actually a little light on how we can try to fix the problem. And I won't pretend to have the answers, but my suspicion is that although there's roles for everybody to play, as a man-driven problem, we probably need man-driven solutions. And that to me is probably because men are best equipped in one breath to condemn the abhorrent behaviors and beliefs of the incel community, while in the next breath offer people a way out of it, offer a better path of how to live their lives. This is important because Costello has found that for many of these individuals, twisted though it might seem, participating in incel culture offers them a form of community. And the best antidote to a bad community, in my experience, is offering a better, healthier community. So, I'll say for what it's worth, if you identify as an incel in any way and you're interested in finding a better way to live, my DMs are open and I'm happy to have that conversation with you. The broken person in me recognizes and loves the broken person within you, and I think there's a way for all of us to be better. There's a quote from Thoreau that I really like and feels appropriate here. Alert and healthy natures remember that the sun rose clear. It is never too late to give up our prejudices. Otherwise, go read the article, maybe not in your work computer, and let me know what you think.